Halo, Assalamualaikum. My name is Riza. I'm doctoral student of Universitas Indonesia and lecturer at Universitas Gunadarma. First, I thank you ICCOMAH committee for holding this conference during this pandemic situation. Related to this pandemic, I have researched an interesting phenomenon from Indonesia. My research is titled Mediatization Study, Religious Harmony of Indonesian Rural Society during the COVID-19 pandemic. This research began with observation on social and political conflict in Indonesia, which have been heating up in the last 4 years. These conflicts are related to religion. As in the 212 rallies in 2016, where several Muslims demanded that Jakarta Governor Basuki Cahayapurnama be punished. The group was offended by BTP's words that quote the Islamic Holy Quran. According to them, BTP as a non-Muslim has misunderstood the verses of the Quran. Religious sentiment in Indonesia does not easily subside. Even when BTP was imprisoned in 2017 and released 2 years later, the label as a religious blasphemer remained attached. The label is attached not only to BTP but also its political affiliation, President Joko Widodo. Religious conflict does not only affect official beliefs that have been recognized by law. In Indonesia, there are also traditional religion, belief inherited from ancestors. Although in 2017, the government has recognized the equality of traditional religion, the existence and practice of its rituals still cause societal friction. Believers still experience discrimination, difficulties in administering school administration, rejection, and even dismantling funerals. Various conflict and religious upheavals were reported in various mass media, social media, and daily conversation. Interestingly, I observed that negative resonance about religion did not arise from the news or conversation from Tulungagung. That is the background of this problem, namely that religious conflict highlighted by national media do not appear in local report or conversation. On the contrary, the worship of Ramadan and the phenomenon of Tetek Molek shows harmony in the diversity of Tulungagung society. So, my research explores religious activities in rural societies that are increasingly integrated with the media during the COVID-19 pandemic. I use a qualitative approach and ethnographic design with the concept of mediatization. I understand that societal situation and cultural transformation are interrelated with the development of media and changes in communication practice. That is, major changes in society are not only dominated by the media or entirely caused by societal needs. Rather, there is interrelation, a long process of various media that is integrated with community institutions. Likewise, the community also processes to receive, study, adopt, and adapt communication with the media. During the pandemic, in the context of religion, I observed two major phenomena. First, Ramadan, which happens once a year. Secondly, Tetek Molek is a belief that is still held by 11 people, but thanks to the media, can change the social and cultural construction of the community. I observed and interviewed the worshipper of the Baitul A'la Mosque who used the media for Ramadan worship, the makers of the Tetek Molek, and community leaders who understand the meaning of these two phenomena. Ramadan in Tulungagung is colored with Quran recitation all day long from mosque loudspeaker. Tulungagung community start Ramadan with the tradition of nyekar, which is to pray, visit, and clean the graves of family who have died. Society interpreted nyekar as a ritual to remember the goodness of the deceased and pray for him. For them, one's wealth and religion don't have to be alive. Only the kindness of others is remembered after a human dies. Every night, Muslims do Taraweh prayers in congregation tucked into religious lectures. In the last 10 days of Ramadan, pilgrims carry out the tradition of Malaman to welcome the night of Laylatul Qadar by increasing prayer and alms. Pilgrims bring 10 servings of food to be distributed to residents around the mosque. There is a tradition of going home or mudik by migrants from Tulungagung. Aside from being a rural area, Tulungagung is one of the regions sending the most foreign workers in East Java. 8 prayers as a sign of the end of Ramadan is the moment of travelers together with the large family. After the Eid al-Fitr prayer, the community performs sungkem, which is an expression of apology and prayer to an older person. As a form of acceptance or forgiveness, older give a sum of money. Sungkem is also carried out to neighbors without distinguish social or religious backgrounds from ba'dan or visiting or halal bihalal. When receiving guests, the host provides ketupat and opor as typical food. Ketupat symbolize lepat or apology and become a form of religious acculturation in the local culture. During the pandemic, the government implemented a social distancing protocol restricting transportation, including worship in congregation and mosque activities. Ramadan worship integrates media technology so that it can still be done. The mosque administrator gives distance for Tarawih prayers. In the mosque, only 1 or 2 people recite or lecture, while other worshippers follow at their respective home via Zoom or Google Meet.
Ceramah lewat media tidak mengurangi esensi ibadah.
According to the people, the COVID-19 prevention protocol is also taught in Islam in the form of wudu, namely gargling, washing face, nose, ears, hands, feet, at least 5 times a day. The thing that has changed the most is the mudik, sungkem, and ba'dan, which must be practiced virtually. Migrants who are not allowed to return to Indonesia order food through online to feel the atmosphere of mudik. The community represents sungkem and ba'dan through Instagram accounts tags, WhatsApp status, or Facebook posting. The change is not only in the practice of worship of Muslim, which is the religion of 98% of Tulungagung residents. There is a hereditary belief held by a group of people but managed to influence the social and even economic situation of the community due to mediatization. The belief is that the tetek molek can reject bad things, including a pandemic. Generally, Tulungagung people know COVID-19 through mass media, social media, or conversation, including 11 old farmers in Wajak Kidul village who knew COVID-19 from a conversation with neighbor because they rarely saw television. Those farmers consider COVID-19 to be a pagebluk or plague and believe it must be counteracted by a tetek molek, a mask made from a coconut fronds and paint using limestone with creepy image. Social media uploaded a photo of tetek molek until it was widely discussed by netizens and mass media. Some comments on tetek molek as myth, tradition, superstition, beliefs, even blasphemous. Outside the citizens' debate, the Tulungagung people put together tetek molek at home, institutional offices, shops, stalls, even the local government hall. They consider tetek molek as an ancestral belief. Although some people do not know the meaning or do not exist in their religion, they preserve tetek molek as a tradition. Tetek molek is interesting even to the people outside Tulungagung. They buy in large quantities. Making tetek molek finally became a new job amid the decline of the national and global economy. The makers of tetek molek also changed the creepy characters with various funny or adorable characters. Mediatization of Ramadan and tetek molek has 2 things in common. First, both are based on a group beliefs. Second, the transformation involves the interrelation of all societal elements. During the Ramadan worship, the use of media is caused by pandemic situation, supported by religious leaders, community compliance, availability of internet infrastructure, regulation, and local government assertiveness. Likewise, the tetek molek emerged as a response to a pandemic, spread by the media, had historical value, and was accepted because of accommodative local wisdom. Even though Ramadan involves the majority groups and the tetek molek spearheaded by a handful of people, the media can build social interrelation and transformation. Ramadan and tetek molek are based on group beliefs practiced in the community. The group suppress exclusivity by acculturating social values and involving the local community. Muslims share, live together, and share with residents regardless of religious or social background. Likewise, people preserve tetek molek as an ancestral tradition, not as religious teaching. On the other hand, harmonious local wisdom accommodates the diversity of community members. I found harmony in the statement of informant and various cultural sites. Media in Tulungagung use local wisdom as a narrative so that the community feels togetherness, origin, group ownership, and easily build relationships. In other words, the media understand religion and belief in the context of cultural and historical value. The similarity of values or horizon of meaning is what makes social cohesion and harmony. Conversely, the absence of a meaning horizon creates a difference in social conflict, like when citizens give a variety of comments because they do not understand the meaning of Tetek Molek. I found the contribution of the media in changing the meaning of Tetek Molek from group beliefs to ancestral tradition. The media creates secularization by linking Tetek Molek with pandemic, not with beliefs. Another shift is ability of media to build emotional bonds and collective memories. For example, pilgrims feel connected via Zoom or feel emotion when sungkem through WhatsApp. Ramadan worship is practiced by Muslims around the world, as Tetek Molek exists in various Javanese and Balinese cultures. However, mediatization in Tulungagung shows that the sacred meaning is related to the attitude of the people who perceive it, including the media that build discourse and bring up reality. Tetek Molek is as simple as the practice of Ramadan can be desacralized and even disappear when there is no community practicing it. That is, in mediatization, the social construction of reality can change and be independent from the institution. We need to be aware that even though harmony is a philosophy in several regions in Indonesia, history, meaning, implication, and practice may be differ from place to place. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.